Did you see Brightline Florida's going bankrupt? Good. If I can't have public transit, the Floridians shouldn't either.
So, Eliza, Brightline has been kind of struggling for a while here. How likely is it that something will come along for this?
Well, what it seems to be the base case for creditors involved and advisors that are in the middle of pretty serious negotiations right now, it seems that most likely the...
What's Brightline? For some ungodly reason, Florida is like the only place in America that has high-speed rail. Unfortunately for high-speed rail as like a concept, Floridians are literally primitive. They're like sub-literate ape people. So they don't understand what to do with it. I assume the reason Brightline's going bankrupt is because when one of their high-speed rail trains pull into the station, people just toss rocks at it and hit it with sticks and so on. They don't understand what to do with it.
The company is going to have to have a change of ownership. So either the creditors are going to take over in an in-court Chapter 11 restructuring. Small chance they can get that done outside of court. Or a strategic buyer, if a strategic buyer emerges that is willing to pay enough, that buyer could purchase Brightline outside of court, and they need to...
Brightline was shittily designed as well. It's all level crossings, and people keep getting hit by trains because Floridians are stupid. Well, I mean, you're making a case for it.
Able to pay back all of the debt right now, though, that Brightline can't afford to service otherwise. So it would require a huge cash infusion.
Right. This is a $5.5 billion debt pile. Who owns this debt?
The senior, or much of the senior municipal bonds are owned by Nuveen and First Eagle, two giants in municipal bond land, and they are in direct communication with Brightline, as far as I know. And the corporate bonds, which are really important in this case because they are really the fulcrum security here, are owned by three hedge funds that have experience in distressed assets. Those are
cool.
Redwood, Aristea, and Nut Tree Capital. So those guys are well versed in doing the kind of what we call creditor violence that allows them to be in the best position to take over the underlying company and at a pretty low price, and it often involves a lot.
Brightline crash compilation. So are people like dying here or whatever? It is insane that it's all level crossings though. They literally don't know what a train is. Like, they don't even know how to engage. Like, I feel like Floridians with trains have to be the way people first reacted to cars, which is that they were walking down like a boulevard in New York City, and they see a car coming at them at 30 miles per hour, 200 feet down the boulevard, and they're so shocked by it they don't move. And it's like that scene in Austin Powers with the steamroller, you know? Like, for 8 seconds, they're just like, while the Ford just slowly mulches them. Dana, you're from fucking Florida? Holy shit, I didn't know that about you. Jesus Christ, you don't deserve that. Here's a death count website for Brightline. Well, don't sell me on the positives. The reason Floridians do this is because the same railroad with no way around the grade crossing has 2 mile long fairly. Yeah. Again, the fact that it has, it's all at level crossings with no grade separation is genuinely insane. You're going to put a train all across the fucking state and just have that shit on level ground. You're really not going to build, like, any elevated crossings? You're just going to shut down the entire state every time one of these motherfuckers rolls by? It's crazy. Can we keep the crash compilation going? Well, I don't want to, like, show people dying or whatever. Elevated trains or maybe, I don't know, underground. I don't think you can build underground in Florida. I'm pretty sure the moment you dig below, like 2 feet below the surface, the swamp just pours into the hole that you've dug. I don't think you can do that. Yeah, it's like a slushy. You're building on a slushy. Florida's $6 billion rail line is debt vulture circling. $6 billion? That's like 1/10 the cost of California high-speed rail. And it actually exists. That's crazy. Meanwhile, in Florida, there's currently a massive fire burning in the Everglades in South Florida. I don't even know how that's possible. That's crazy. Climate change is inventing new kinds of fires. Is it like an oil fire? Yeah, isn't it supposed to be wet over there? It's that new kind of wet fire. New kind of fire. They're inventing all kinds of shit over there. 1 second. I gotta lay out a piece of laundry. Sorry, it's a devastating misplay on my part. I bought a nice new shirt and I wore it to Hot Pot. So I'm like, it's in intensive care right now. Used an enzymatic spray because I thought it might have been like a chili sauce that got on it, and I found, much to my dismay, that the enzymatic spray took away the color but not the stain. So we're getting a self-made piece. Florida's apparently in a drought. How? No fucking idea. That's cool. Yeah, I don't really know how this shit works, to be honest. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know how it works. I don't get it. You look there, it's wet. I don't know how you can be in a drought. I don't get it. Exceptional drought, huh? Jesus. Just drink the swamp water? Yeah, honestly. Mabinlock, it's okay. I know how to do. I know how to do my laundry. But you are correct. God hates the South. Brightline's financial troubles are all about the debt incurred in building out its service. It's viable in operations. Even we need more government subsidy for the initial infrastructure and land value capture to make this model work. I don't want any money invested in Florida. That's like a first principle for me. Transform to Florida between the government, the storms, the fires, the trains, and the gators. All the threats cancel each other out somehow. Yeah, I could get that. Yeah, you live in Miami and like the anti-trans police are coming to your door, but they're stopped by the gators. And then like the sea level rising brings a tidal wave to your house, but the fires coming in from the Everglades like hit it mid clash, and a big burst of steam just ends up like blanketing your house in a cool mist. Yeah, no, it sounds cool. Miami home sellers now outnumber buyers by 160%. 160%? Miami home sellers versus buyers. Yep, 160%. Wow. Jesus Christ. As you know how the market likes to frame that. Here's the AI overview. As of early 2026, Miami is ranked as the #1 strongest buyer's market in the U.S. That's a really funny way of saying no one wants to live there. Panic sell, get out of there now. You know, that's a really funny way. #1 buyer's market. Much in the same way that like like a market stall at a farmer's market that sells wet bags of dog shit has the strongest buyer's market because there's no demand. Oh, buying market's hot over here. There's literally no competition. You can just name your price for the wet bag of dog shit. Dude, it's practically free. Strongest buyer's market. Isn't that monopoly? Monopsony. A monopoly is when you have no alternatives when it comes to places to buy from. Monopsony is when the seller has no other place to go to sell their products. Monopsony, thank you. Sony, like the Japanese company. Yeah. Average time a house stays on the market, 9.8 months, man. Jesus Christ. And Austin, Texas is right up here too. What's New York doing there? Shit's expensive. Also, New York is disrupted, like price signaling wise, because there are a bunch of properties there that cost like $50 million that were ridiculously overpriced on construction, and just they keep bringing them down. Like Billionaires Row, that big skinny tower that was built like shit. Market's a bit distorted over there. Almost like housing shouldn't be commodified. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Maybe possibly. We are in for such a fucking culture shock. I'm telling you, you know how boomers control the news? We are in for like a straight 20 years of nonstop whining from people 60 and over that they can't sell their properties. They can't afford property tax. They want the $2.5 million that the internet tells them they deserve for sitting on the same property for 50 years, making no improvements, and seeing the value increase by 100,000% over their lifetime. They're going to cry like babies when they realize all that speculative wealth means nothing if nobody can afford to buy their property. And I'm going to love every minute of it. It's so funny to me when young people are like, oh, well, when the boomers die, the wealth will finally come down, as if it's not all going to get eaten up by end-of-life services, healthcare costs, and the fact that old people will have no one to sell their homes to because the housing market is irrational and will not price down the properties to a point where younger people can afford to buy them. A lot of the wealth the boomers hold on to is ephemeral. It either exists in the speculative housing market, which is not going to pay out because nobody can afford that shit, or it's going to go to end-of-life care. The only people that are going to be getting rich are the like healthcare industry executives, which is the reason why healthcare and healthcare services is the only job market in America that's seeing significant growth right now. Every single other regular services, industrial, manufacturing, whatever else, all of that, the number of jobs are going down. It's just in healthcare services where it's meaningfully going up. And that's because the market is adjusting to fleece as much money as possible off of the dying, ennobled, rich boomers. You're not seeing a fucking drop of that money, man. They call it the elder care economy. I can't wait to be accused of being like ageist or whatever, because I don't think 80% of our economy should go to coddling old people. You should be ageist? Well, they'd be correct. I am ageist, you know? Yeah, look at that, man. It's crazy. Monthly change in U.S. jobs by sector, private education and health services. I don't know why they lump these two together. Health services are where the jobs are going. Look at that. It's an unbelievable skew in favor of health services. Yeah, if the two biggest jobs in America are going to be like nursing and funereal services. Is it the same in South Korea? That more and more of the economy is being diverted to assist old people? Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a huge thing in Korea and Japan where they have very old average like age populations, yeah. Also Russia? Yeah, but in Russia old people don't get care. They just get like thrown in the ground, I think. Or like cannibalized, I think. I'm not sure. Did you see the Kurzgesagt video on Germany as well? No, I did not. They get fermented into alcohol. That shit's true, yeah. The suicide rate in Korea is extremely high compared to other developed nations because it's mostly old people killing themselves due to not being able to pay their medical bills and being a burden on their families. They're calling it the least selfish class of old people in human history. Sorry, it's a little bit glib. Suicide rate in South Korea. Highest suicide rate among OECD countries with 28.3 deaths per 100,000 people. Sheesh. Suicide is the leading cause of death for individuals aged 10 to 39. Yeah, okay. In 2022, suicide caused more than half of all deaths among South Koreans in their 20s. Okay. Relative poverty among senior citizens in South Korea, though declining since 2011, has contributed to a high rate of suicide. An extremely high suicide rate among the elderly is a major contributing factor to their overall suicide rates. To be fair, what else could be the death reason for young people other than that work accidents? I don't know where you've been getting your news, but it's really not normal for suicide to be the leading cause of death in any age demographic. It should be like car crashes or something. That's normal. The car crash thing might be US specific. Are you really going to argue that it's socially healthy for suicide to be the leading cause of death for people in their teens, 20s, and 30s? Methods. Yontan burning has been used as a suicide method in South Korea. Sure, man. Whatever. What are we talking about? Brightline rail? Old people was how we got here?